Alright, we're live.
It's been a capture on the device. Yeah, so we'll be able. It's an MP4, so we'll be able to strip audio out of that. No one on yet. Usually we'll do the countdown banner to give people a chance to. House show, bringing you the business, the culture, and the history, and of course the music that is house music. It's your main man Mega, and I am in studio with my esteemed guests tonight, some of Chicago's finest DJs, contributors to the culture, purveyors of the culture, friends of mine. I'm honored to call them friends, but it is in studio. I'm honored to have Lady D. What's up, Lady D?
Hey, Kevin.
And to my other side, because I don't know which side you're viewing our simulcast from, but my right, maybe your left, but here with us is the awesome J Star. What's up, Jay?
How you feeling, man?
I'm good, good.
Yes, sir.
We are a little late in our show because we were getting our summertime Chicago on. That we watched the fireworks on Lakeshore Drive as we were coming up. Pulled over to the side, that kind of thing. Of course, some others weren't as careful and they had a little minor accident, so that slowed things down. None of us, we're all okay, right?
We're fine.
Okay, good. But it is a spectacular and warm evening, and everybody's out in Chicago. And of course, one of our favorite things to do driving up and down Lakeshore Drive is to play our house music so that everybody on the cars on either side of us can also feel it, right? And that is the Chicago summertime experience. One of many, but we're here to talk about one of the events that tends to be the epitome of a Chicago summer day. July 12th, 2025. History was once again made with regard to the genre of house music, the community of house people, some call them house heads. The reunion spirit was alive, and it was another fantastic day. And so we're going to recap that day with Lady D and J Star coming up in 30 seconds. We'll be right back. So we've got some folks tuned in. Thanks for tuning in on our live stream. I shared with you all the lineup, and so we'll take it from the top. We've got, of course, our producer Mateo. What's up, Mateo? Yeah, that's right. He actually filled in for a guest we were missing. We had to put out a APB on my man
Not the APB.
Elbert Phillips. You still owe me a show, Elbert. Come on, man. But Mateo filled in, and he shared his great background and experience as a master's student here at Northwestern University.
Sweet.
Right? And in the audio, what's your major again?
Sound arts.
Sound arts. It's dope. It's a dope program.
What, live or studio?
It's kind of everything. Mainly like studio stuff, like post-production sort of stuff. Yeah, but we do it all. Do like sound for film or whatever. Right now I'm building a drum machine, so it's like all sorts of different like audio related projects.
We gotta
you know?
connect with Mateo some more. So we're gonna get back on air and we'll go through the lineup. I gotta get my cheat sheet too here. All right, we're back. Your main man Mega again in studio with Lady D. I'm so honored because we've been trying to make this a tradition.
Yeah.
Right? We did it in 2023.
Yeah.
It had to be 22 or
Right.
23.
Exactly.
And we're back again, and we've added another esteemed member to the recap crew. That's what we're gonna call
The
ourselves.
recap crew. I like it.
J Star is with us, and of course, it wouldn't be the Vintage House Show if we didn't give our guests a chance to talk about themselves just a little bit, so that you know, for those of you just tuning in, maybe for the first time, I don't know, that could be possible. We want you to know who's with us in studio, and of course, your main man Mega. I'm co-host of the Vintage House Show along with Lori Branch and our executive producer and founder Lauren Lowry, and we have the Vintage House Show crew with DJ Momami and DJ Rocky Floyd holding it down along with us, and we bring in our friends. We get to do that. So I'm honored to have Lady D drop some knowledge about who she is, what she does, how she rocks out in this house world.
Okay, so I'm Lady D. People know me in Chicago as a DJ and producer and label owner. I founded Delectable Music in 2004, and we did a few vinyls, we did a few digitals, and it's really become more of an event promotion and marketing company. Yeah, that's about it. I keep thinking about what do you call it? The like Schoolhouse Rock.
Yes.
I'm just like,
Something
I'm
you
just
should
a
know.
bill, and I'm only a bill. I'm
Okay,
like,
y'all.
listen.
Y'all. People, my friend is being humbled tonight for some reason. This is a global phenomenon and star next to me who has definitely earned some very distinguished titles.
I came here to talk about the chosen few.
She did. But what's up, EJ? Tuning in. My man Errol
Hey,
James
y'all.
out in Arizona. We rocked Boston back in the day together. Thank you, Lady D. I will, certainly fill in a little more on her as the show goes on. Again, to my right, your left maybe, is J Star, who has hit the scene and is blazing things. And what's beautiful about this moment is that we have sort of a veteran, is that fair to say?
Sure.
And a emerging, I mean, he's here, y'all, but what
If you ask him, how many years have you been playing?
So,
there you go.
this now I want to say is going on probably year 3 professionally.
Okay.
Basically in this house music
Mhm.
thing. What's crazy is I've been DJing since I want to say elementary though.
Mm-hmm.
I got my cuts. I started off as a skate DJ at Glenwood Roller Rink.
Okay.
That's kind of where I got my start. But it
Which is
kinda
closed now.
Wait, what?
It's-
That's news to me.
That's what I heard. Yeah, because they just did like the
last
big, the
roll.
Independence, the Independence thing.
Wow.
I saw
And it
something
was- yeah, it
like
was
that on
close.
social.
I got some phone calls to make.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I got my start as a DJ, and it kind of grew and evolved and developed to now what is basically the house music industry. So yeah.
And so we talk about making sure this genre is sustainable, not because we are in fear that it's in jeopardy, but we want to ensure that the next generation, right, is well positioned to continue to evolve the genre. And so we've got, veteran, we've got an emerging DJ and contributor to house music culture. And so our show is complete. Ooh, yeah, I hit a note there. I, I, I brag about my baritone or deep voice, but I just hit something.
Hey,
there.
Lori Branch.
What's up, co-host, my friend, my honey, Lori? We thought you were gonna maybe pop in and join us, so it's never too late to do that. But we are gonna be talking about you because you had a astounding set during the Chosen Few
let's get into it.
2025 picnic, and so we start with Greg Gray, who kicked off the day and does so every year.
Every year.
Every year.
Absolutely.
He holds it down, to be honest.
He sets the tone,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think that for the people who are pulling up with all of their, cookout stuff, all their wagons full of things, he really starts the day off right. Like he sets the mood. And I think that's just a nice touch, right? Like back in the day they never had DJs that early. And so
8 a.m. y'all.
Yeah, so people used to pull up with all of their stuff and they would just get things ready. But now they have this entertainment and sort of this, this relaxer, right? It's like we're gonna ease you into the day, the Chosen Few way, and Greg Gray is there to set the tone. I really like that's happening.
He that's a tradition. It's a tradition.
Become a tradition, yeah.
And Jay, you were there
Absolutely.
at 7 a.m. if not earlier.
No, early.
Yeah.
Mike has us there at 5 in the morning setting up. If you haven't experienced the Taj Mahal, it's a must-have. If you know. That's all I will say.
Yeah, that's right.
But one thing I will say is the landscape or the lineup is always a history lesson too. And that's something that Chosen Few holds close to it because Greg is a part of the start and the foundation, how I was taught, basically providing, I believe it was the first sound system.
The equipment,
right,
behind the museum.
Right, when it first started. So the fact that has continued as a tradition is something that's very much so incredible for people coming into the genre, people basically having the first experience of the Chosen Few. It's a lot more than just a time slot. It's a history moment. So
very well stated and said. And again, he's a veteran jock as well. Shout out to you, Greg Gray, and the selection.
A fellow Dolphin.
And
From Whitney Young.
Here we go, Whitney
Yes,
Young. The Lindblom Whitney Young DJ portfolios are pretty interesting.
Yeah.
To discuss on another show, but we gonna fast forward to Celeste Alexander, who followed Greg in from my perspective, she had one of the freshest sets of the day in terms of her selection because you talked about Greg and his depth of understanding of the history and setting the tone. Celeste brought in my mind this wave of different new music and some vocals that were very female driven. I mean, her set was robust, but those were some of my takeaways. Darlene, what did you take away from Celeste?
Yeah, I got there sort of towards the last quarter of her set, and Celeste is a crowd pleaser. I know that she got the people up there starting to dance early.
Yeah.
And she kind of finished really strong for me. I know she likes to bring people to a sort of looking out at people when she was playing like that Fifth of Beethoven remix, and that is a fan favorite.
It
So
is. It is.
yeah,
Absolutely.
so she really put it on them. You know, she was like it didn't matter that it was 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I'm gonna give you Celeste Alexander.
Right.
She did, and
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. The Beethoven, fifth of Beethoven,
DJ Spin,
piece.
shout out to Big Bro.
That's DJ.
DJ Spin, that's his
DJ
record
Spin
on
did that.
Quantize.
Yes,
Baltimore.
on Quantize Records. Yeah.
Yep. On
Um,
Quantize.
what was your thought, Jay?
No, not to pull a Black Panther moment, but hey, Auntie.
Yeah.
Auntie Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing what she carries, like Lady D said, that's who she is.
Yeah.
She's a part of history herself too. Knowing that I think she was dealing with a little bit of a leg injury
Oh yeah.
walking in, which made things a little difficult. But seeing her push through it,
I'm gonna correct the story a little bit though. She didn't walk in. She was carted like royalty that she is. She was golf carted up to
Absolutely.
the stage stairs and then assisted up. So I had to throw that in.
I'll say this too, and this kind of is like, I don't know when Lori's set was. I think it was either
It was right after.
Right after. But I want to say that coming from a lineup perspective, this was a little bit more. There was a lot more female presence on the lineup this year than in years past. I know Wayne's vision has always been to give equal opportunity, and so it was good to see from a consumer standpoint. Basically, in a if I'm allowed to say, in a male dominated industry.
Oh yeah,
basically,
yeah. So we talk about that often on the show.
yeah, the legacy and the status of who was on the lineup to kind of represent and represent it well. So
Yes, and Lori Branch was up next, a colleague of both of ours,
Yeah.
and she
So-
just checked in, part of the Good Girls, which is the collective that you've led and created. Talk about what that was like to watch your fellow good girl get down.
Yeah, so Lori brought it big time. Actually, I was talking to one of the chosen few who, I'm not going to say names, but they said that was their favorite set of the day. And I tend to agree, because she just, it was light and it was upbeat and
Yes.
it was inspirational. And so that's what I felt like at 10 a.m. Is really
Is
your
needed.
duty, right? Like you're supposed to not bring it like super deep, or or super like eclectic. Like it should really grab people, and she did. I thought it was
They were
a super special set coming
Yep.
from her, because not only is she one of the first women DJs, if not the first woman DJ in this house scene. She had, she's instrumental in helping support the chosen few through her company that she works with,
Yes.
Gilead Sciences, who's like the name sponsor, and I think she just brings so much energy, history, love. Love is energy, right? So she just brings so much energy to this space, and I think chosen few is better for it. So so I was really proud of my girl. I was proud to be there and support her. I know that she brought some changes also to the VIP area. There was a special VIP tent for sponsors,
Sponsor lounge
for the
yes.
sponsors, and
Wow.
so just creating and recreating the experience of what the chosen few picnic is. Somebody like Lori bringing that to the table,
Yeah.
I think deserves extra acknowledgement. So I'm super proud of my sis, my good girls, DJ,
Yes.
sis, and Lori is a force and undeniable.
That
Absolutely.
I can validate that as a co-host with her on the Vintage House show, and a co-collaborator in what was infused into this year's picnic experience in the footprint, that sponsor lounge. and so much more on the ground and behind the scenes. Jay, and yes, I also agree with you about her set being very fierce and appropriate for the time slot that she was in. Jay, over to you.
Absolutely. So a little bit of pre-context. I've been going to Chosen Few since I want to say my sophomore year in high school.
You want to give us a year?
That was, I know, I say that like that was back
you on the
in
spot.
19. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. But I want to say that was, I want to say 2017, 2016, 2017. I say that to say I started off basically actually working with Dwayne Woods. Basically, he was one of the sound. He was not one of the, but the sound engineer for Chosen Few at the time.
Yes.
Basically, I was able to get in with my uncle, and we had an amazing time. And since then, I haven't missed a festival since then.
Love it.
I say that to say over the years.
I remember meeting you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I thought you were about to pull up some pictures.
Right. The young version. This was before J Star was actually named J Star. But throughout the years, I've been able to experience the waves of Chosen Few. And what I've realized is there are three, what I call three waves in terms of times, you know, and energy moments. You know, there's the first wave that opens up the festival. And then there's the second wave, which is what I believe Lori kicked off, kind of going into the afternoon or midday area, kind of the segue to not the conclusion, but basically the energy moment of the festival.
The energy transfer.
Right,
Shift.
the energy transfer.
Yeah.
And then basically you have your third wave, which is basically your closing wave, you know, when the sun is about to come down. And I think that basically, like Lady D said, and like you were saying, it was such a pivotal moment to start that moment like that and bring in that energy wave. So that was amazing to see. As previous years have kind of relayed that same energy moment too. So that was a great moment to see and witness.
Yeah.
I think I did a phenomenal job. I'm just going to interject right now in selecting the right people to recap this thing called the Chosen Few picnic.
So
the
Tony
perspectives are rich.
Lori.
Lori, yes,
Yeah.
he did. And you and Tony. So, quick story I got to tell about Tony Hatchett. He and I double dated a couple of women that went to Elizabeth Seton High School. We went on a double date after the prom to like Great America. It was a whole weekend thing, and he gifted me one of his cassette tape mixes. And I listened and I studied that bad boy. And so Tony Hatchett, shout out to you. Always, you know, I tell that story because you have been one of the influences on my DJing that has been on and off. That's another story.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Hatchet brothers. If it weren't for them, would there be a Chosen Few?
There would not be a Chosen Few.
Not at all.
The Hatchet fam.
Yes.
Shout out to everyone. And so Tony's a long time, you know, member of the Chosen Few, but also DJ, and he's taken his talents out of state, but he still delivered on July 12th.
Yeah, he did. And he got to play another time, too, at the end with Alan.
The back-to-back.
So, because Alan followed Tony, and I would say, I dare say, Alan, you know, he does the Saturday Night Live, and he does a more spiritual and gospel flavored house set sometimes. And so he actually brought that at noon. At noon, people were praising.
Yes.
It was straight testimony up in there. I mean, he
Absolutely.
brought it. I loved that set. And I think other people did too. I think what that did was the spirituality came, you know.
That was a wave.
That was that wave. This is
right.
what I mean, people, if somebody said it on here, they said who said that? Annette McGee. That Lori and DJ Alan King brought heat in the. Why you hide it?
I just put it up.
Oh, brought fire or heat in the morning, right? They did. But it was also so spiritual. It was so spiritual. I mean, almost to the point of like
Church in Jackson Park.
It was church. It was church.
Allen has always been the preacher amongst the chosen few in a way during the festival, I should say. You know, even growing up during my first times witnessing or being in that environment, you know, I've always noticed he always takes it to church one way or another. You know, and it's a moment in the festival to where basically we have an opportunity to thank God for an amazing time, for an amazing day. You know, no matter what time slot that is, it's I think that's vital, and that's why Chosen Few has always remained such a peaceful and such an amazing
That's a
environment.
perspective.
You know, because
Yeah.
we have those moments where Alan King says, "Okay, I understand why we're here, but let's take a few seconds, right? Let's take a few moments and give glory and credit to where honor is due."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, his he is not a student, but sort of a guru of
right.
the selection of new interwoven with our classic or vintage music. The Saturday Night Live, as you referenced, Darlene, is it's a real master class, if you will. And sometimes he takes it
For
to the
people
classics.
who don't know, that's his Twitch show that comes out. It's like a play, I think, on Saturday Night Live, right?
Yep.
SNL, and he takes you right into his home studio, and just lights it up, brings you the heat, brings you the spirit, brings you the joy. I always love that show when I get a chance to catch it.
Yeah, when you're not working
When
yourself,
I'm not working,
right?
sometimes I'm lucky like that.
Yeah, and I would just add on Alan. I've got stories with Alan too. My favorite story to tell always is a night at the Loft. It was a Halloween night, and he was playing, and there were people who couldn't get in, and they were innovative and found a way to get in. They actually found a ladder on the side of the building, put it up on the front, climbed through the window, and we didn't know what the heck was happening. Alan was still trying to, deliver his master class as he does, and these cats were coming through the window to get into the party at the Loft, and it was me and our RIP, a guy named Rock, Kenwood guy, and we were standing there. I was watching, studying Alan, and also keeping my eye over my shoulder about what was happening. And so,
Absolutely.
And Terry Hunter has entered the room.
What's up, TH?
Big bro.
Hey.
So,
One thing
and Lori
yes.
said that was a Vertigo party.
yeah, it was the Vertigo party on Halloween, at the Loft.
One thing I will make note to, especially for some of the people who may or may not know, basically in terms of the festival as a whole, Alan, Terry, Mike, Wayne, they do more than just DJ, especially in terms of the festival.
No doubt.
They hold such a pivotal role, including while we're on Alan, in the curation of the festival as a whole, and the organizational part of it, the management part of it, making sure that things happen on time from the stage.
And Kim Parham.
Right, yeah. And so I think that basically, including while we're talking about Alan, he's the one person that actually taught me how to basically live a day career and still manage the artistry part of it too. So I think that's a vital part.
Another compliment to our man, a.k.a. And yes, you put the fire down, and brimstone went out during your set, Alan. And of course,
somebody had a question on the thing. They wanted to know, do the guys get together and talk about what they're gonna play, or do they do it on the fly? And I would have to say, Scott, that they probably do it on the fly. Like I don't see them saying like, you play this, you play that. But what I have heard before is that they might say, you do a retro set, you play a more classic set. I've heard that in the past. Now, I don't know how true that is, but okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story.
Terry, you're on.
Yes, Terry.
Drop
Terry
us a
says
note in the
no,
comments.
but,
Right.
but okay. So one
No.
time, maybe this is like an exception, but one time Andre played early, and he didn't like that he was playing early or something. And when he came off, he was like, man, got me playing all this old stuff. And then I was like, but it was so good. I was like, you have nothing to be upset about. I was like, it was so good. I mean, and he pulled out classics. It was just beautiful. I was like, well, who cares? Because it was delicious. Like, to me, that year, I loved his set the most. And I don't know, like, I was like, well, maybe in my head, did they make him play that? Or did he feel like
That's
because he was playing
Andre's.
early,
That's
he had to play
Andre
that?
brought. He always brings his style. I mean, he has.
That set was impeccable.
in
Maybe
those kinds
anger
of-
or something like drove that set to peak, but that was tip top. So I don't know, maybe but Terry says no, not true.
Yeah.
And okay, so we'll put that to rest. Hello. And when people ask these questions, hey, Lady D, Jesus. When people ask these questions, Terry, you should just respond in the chat. I won't say anything.
Yeah,
but that was like a personal story that I had.
You were overdue probably for an appearance, and we need to talk about the
Getting Terry
birthday.
to there.
Yeah, we
Oh,
need to talk about the
yeah.
birthday concert.
August.
So we'll line that up, Terry.
Okay, following Alan,
Yes,
the
so
newcomer.
I want to throw this one to J Star because again we are doing the work, and Chosen Few did the intentional act of programming Amir Brooks into the lineup, and you, J Star, tell us about your role in that effort.
No. I don't take any credit or basically any recognition for basically having him a part of the festival. Amir is an amazing DJ. I'll say that he has. I'll say this. What some people don't know is Amir had it first, right?
Had what first?
In terms of being connected in the industry.
Okay.
Right. Before I was even a thought, or before I of course I knew about house music. I was
Sure.
growing and
That's
developing
fair.
as a DJ.
Yes.
But in terms of basically being a part of the community, Amir was there before me.
Okay.
Right. So he was the first nephew in a sense to the culture.
Appreciate that.
Right. Absolutely.
But I want to caveat your statement, and this is a conversation, as much as it is an interview and recap. But you were in the lineup, and we were debating earlier this evening whether it was 2022 or 2023 that you hit the Chosen Few picnic stage. So
Absolutely.
in that sense, right, you were a trailblazer as one of the up-and-comers.
Yeah. Yeah, I was blessed to be the youngest to play the lineup. I believe at the age of 22. I was blessed to be the youngest to play the Chosen Few lineup, which was an amazing experience in itself. And then now for my brother to actually be to have his moment in time was amazing to witness and see. Especially at a 1 o'clock.
That's a prime time slot.
So I'm grateful that he was able to experience that and to have the support not only from a crowd, on a 1 o'clock time slot, but just basically be able to receive his flowers as the first in the industry to actually be a trailblazer for myself, and a lot of people after him as well. So.
Lady D, what did you think of that set?
Well, I know that it was one of the fan favorites for sure.
Absolutely.
People were, they started running towards the stage when they were hearing some of the songs that he was playing. So I did witness that. Like, people were like, oh, wait a minute, that's my jam. And also, I think people were encouraged because They saw a
His
new face and a
youthfulness, yeah.
young face.
Yes.
And so I know that that's always encouraging for us to know that there's another generation out there who are welcoming and receiving house, because not only is it the acceptance of the music, it's the acceptance of the lifestyle and what
Right.
it represents, which is that, you know, it's not all about the stuff that is in a lot of the other music, right? And it's about accepting a sort of ethos of like a way of life, right? Like that you believe in, you know, peacefulness, and you're not with the, and you know what I'm
It's
saying?
right. It's
Like,
an
yeah, there's more
inclusive
that comes
culture.
along with it, right?
Yes.
It's inclusive, and you're not, you know, all about that life, right? So I enjoy seeing young people come into, you know, our house as well. And as we say, you know, it then becomes our house and our house music. So
Right.
I feel like
Look at you quoting
I
some
feel
Chuck
like I
Roberts.
know
I
Chuck,
love it.
to Chuck.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I listen. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I did not know who Amir Brooks was.
Mm.
I did not, and I still don't know a lot about Amir. And you know, maybe y'all should tell people who Amir is and like where he's from, and you know.
So he started. He lived in Chicago, and I know his father actually was in the industry as well before they moved into Jersey. And so he has a lot of history in Chicago as well. Basically, I think he's connected now with David Morales, doing big things basically in New Jersey. He just launched his personal, basically, record label. I want to say, I just had it pulled up, called Soul Motives. His first release is called Dreaming, which he actually played, and then at the festival. So I'm proud of him for that. And so yeah, he has some history.
Yeah.
He's definitely got some history, and to basically be able to receive his flowers now, kind of as the first to do it, I'm basically overjoyed and happy for my big brother.
But what do you mean by the first to do it? I don't understand that.
Well, basically, like I said, he was I in my belief, right? He was the youngest, basically, to be in the industry from my generation, and that's what I mean by the first to do it from my generation.
Gotcha.
Right, for
Okay.
us born in the 2000s, breaking into the industry, he was the first for us.
Okay.
You know,
Got
and then
it.
coming after that came myself, and now other DJs like Jordan Pope, Just the DJ, and a Zora, and a plethora of others.
Yes, the
that
next
are
generation.
KT.
right, KT, that are 2000s and beyond.
Okay.
That. So
Gotcha.
And we've got on our Vintage House Show Spotlight a plethora of those other up and comers, the ones still looking to break through. They're on Wednesday nights, 10 o'clock, here on WNUR 89.3 FM in Evanston, Chicago. And Amir Brooks, I think, Mateo, you two connected so that we can get him on an episode of the Vintage House Show. So that's coming up
absolutely.
as well. And so Danny Crivet was up next.
Yeah.
And as we get through the lineup, you know, legend, New York, New Jersey, East Coast, pioneering figure. And it was great to have him in the building. Thoughts about his set?
I will say this: Amir murdered it.
And so it's hard. It's a hard act to follow, no doubt.
It definitely was, and so Amir definitely helped shift it and cultivated an energy moment for him to pick up off of and kind of continue the festival in that direction and in that trajectory. And so I think that he did an amazing job, and so he curated a set that was well needed for that moment and kind of prepared the rest of the festival. So
This is a man after my own heart here. He's a diplomatic deliverer of the updates.
You're
And,
funny.
Yeah.
I thought Danny
Listen.
had a great set.
Okay.
I really did. You know, I think New York and Chicago played differently.
We do.
I think he played a more club oriented set.
Yeah.
I think David Morales also played a more club oriented set. And, you know, a club DJ, I think, plays in a certain way, right? So that people, it's not really like a lot of testifying kind of cuts. It's a steady, chugging,
Sequence and
yes, kind of up
storytelling
and
of a club
yes,
night. Yeah.
yes, exactly. So I felt like it was a very cohesive, 1 hour set. That's all they get, right?
That's
Right.
it.
But
50,
yeah, I mean, in terms of
5 minutes. Or so.
if you're going to invite folks from other places and you're going to go into New York's stable of DJs that you could bring out,
Yeah.
I mean, I think Danny Krivit is one of the tops, Body and Soul, of course.
Absolutely.
And, and David Morales, of course.
And David's played
one
a
of the
couple of
kings.
times.
So, and yeah, and you know what, if it's not broke, you don't fix it. But if it's great, you bring it back, right? So I thought that was awesome. Literally, like Danny played, and then you had some live acts,
Right.
and so this was super special to me. The Ladies of Sky.
Call me.
Yes, the Ladies of Sky. Okay, so the three sisters who were the voices on the original songs of Sky, and we all know their hits. High, Let's Celebrate. Call Me. I mean, they have a bunch.
They do.
If you really think about it.
On the incomparable
And
South
a few
Records.
they didn't play. They didn't play.
Well, yeah, they had a shortened compact
right, but
set
they
had to
started
go
out a little slow, and then they got better. So they went into their hits at the end. I feel like they could have done like just straight hits and would
just
have
hit us over the head.
Yeah, they would have hit us over the head, because that actually gave people a chance to kind of go back to their tents and do other stuff. And
Right.
so it kind of thinned out a little bit. But you know what? They finished strong with Call Me, which was a #1 hit for them. And right after that, your mentor, Mike Dunn, came in. That was crazy. Because people really did. Like, when I said people started running up for Amir, like, people hit the ground. Like, it was like almost like a one of those races where,
yeah.
like
The marathon start.
Yes, people,
moment.
a marathon start. People
moment.
that's when they really rushed the floor, and that's when they flooded
Yeah.
the thing. And he actually had a very dramatic entrance with
Always. Always. Always.
The
put on the
performers,
acapella. It was great.
and the lead in, right, is there's showmanship that accompanies my main man Mike Dunn.
Yeah, it's an announcement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll say, going back to the waves moment, that's the start of the third wave for me. It's
This
basically-
is 3:30 in the afternoon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Talking about Coach, I call him Coach. That's Coach to me.
Love that.
I remember my first Chosen Few festival. This was right after Black Panther came out. This was right after Black Panther came out.
Culture shifting moment.
My God. And basically, of course, Chosen Few picked up on it. So I remember they had a bunch of basically Afrocentric dancers and things like that. But this was my first time actually seeing some of these people live, right? I knew about Mike, Terry, Wayne, Allen. I knew about them from the stories my father used to tell me, but I never experienced them live. And I remember this, like, because it's such a pivotal moment for me in my career. I remember Mike got on, and as he normally does, he starts off very subtle, very politely, and then the next few moments later, you just hear an eruption of sound, and an eruption of, just him. And I say that to say, literally seeing between what happened between him and the crowd, that's when it clicked for me. I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And to have him as a mentor figure now is a full circle moment to me. And I wanted to say that because that was not only kind of the kickstart to my career, but a plethora of other things. And I feel like, as in normal fashion, that's exactly what he did this year as well. Giving some pretext too. Basically, he just launched his record label, Blackball Music, which I'm a proud artist of.
Hey, congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats
and so
to you both.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so his opener song is now available for pre-sale. It releases tomorrow. infected with house music.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was
The
crazy.
little cartoon
Oh my gosh.
is cool.
No, I
Absolutely.
loved the metaphor
Yes.
of
Absolutely.
being sick with something
Yep.
it's contagious,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
house music.
And so that's what's crazy is that song from, I think he said the song is over 8 years old and he's just now releasing it. It's the kickstart of his basically of his record label.
Yeah.
And then actually the second song too, which he just produced this year, basically it's basically going to be his second release.
Okay.
We Came to Party.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so
I have both. I was taking some video that day, and I have both of those. And I was like, this must be new because I never heard it.
Ah.
Yeah. And I thought, you know what? What better place than
The
Chosen
Chosen Few.
Few to release your new stuff, right? So I think that's a masterful way to market the opening of your new label.
absolutely.
You know.
We are at 11 o'clock, and we've got someone coming in after us before we close out our show. We've got David Morales, Ann Nesby, Wayne Williams, Terry Hunter, Andre Hatchett, and the back-to-back Alan King and Tony Hatchett to all talk about. So it's possible we may have to do a part 2 to our recap of the 2025 Chosen Few Picnic and Festival. It always happens because there's such an amazing day full of moments and waves and energy and church and, of course, fellowship.
Absolutely.
We're certainly, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't take a moment from the Vintage House Show crew to thank the Chosen Few for continuing to invest
Man.
and put this event together. As many say, it is the highlight of their summer. But I got to tell a quick story about, I have stories for Darlene, Lady D, and for J-Star. And they all have to do with the Bronzeville community.
Wow.
We used to be neighbors, like a block, a half a block away, and Darlene and Lady D would come and do this show, and then we'd both be on Lakeshore Drive. Who's gonna get back to the block first? I would usually come in second,
Yeah.
and I would, make sure she got in okay, and wave and say, "Talk to you soon. We gotta do something." We're neighbors. J-Star and Mike Dunn and I would shop at the same grocery store.
That's hilarious.
I'm like,
I ran
wait a
into y'all at the
second.
grocery store
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
We're not going to
Yep.
plug the grocery store because this is a commercial free show.
Yeah,
But
they
it
have
is
to pay for that.
This is a popular Bronzeville grocery store, and I'd see these guys shopping, and I'm like, we got to do something, got to get you on there, got to get you to the show. We're here. This has been a moment.
It has. I will just say, everybody had amazing sets after that.
Thank you.
Ann Nesby sounded
Please.
in tip-top form. Wayne Williams brought it. Okay,
He
literally.
was dancing.
It was really, really
Wayne
great.
was dancing.
Man, I won't do
I
my
felt
Wayne
like
Williams.
Terry has been in rare form lately. Like I was with him in Portugal at Sunset Beach.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Which that set, like in that setting, to me, Terry had the best set of that conference, and I would not say that lightly. Like I literally thought, wow, I've never seen Terry in this particular, like, it was 100 A++.
Man.
Like if I was the teacher, that's the grade, and
Love
and
it, yeah.
and did nothing less at Chosen Few. So
You did
whatever
not.
you're on, Terry, I love what it is. Keep that coming.
Speaking of, get your tickets. Wintrust Arena. That's a huge milestone
Yes.
for the culture. So basically, happy early birthday! But get your
Yes.
tickets.
Got a quick Terry Hunter story. So I've been in this industry for a bit as well, and between Gary Wallace and Terry Hunter, they put me on for my first one and only remix that I've ever done.
Wow.
Kathy Summers is the artist. UBQ Productions was the
UBQ.
group. When I Fell in Love. Go out and get your copy. The Megadelic mix. Thank you, Terry. You know I always thank you for that every opportunity I get. But let me say this. Terry's intensity to what you just described in terms of him bringing it, the intensity of every movement of the mix board, the every touch of the deck, every turn of the knobs to fill was with intentionality and intensity, and it reflected in how he delivered an experience to the crowd.
Absolutely, absolutely. What's funny is quick story about that too. My first flyered event, my first major flyered event was actually at Pier 31, and my intro to the industry. The lineup was myself, Terry Hunter. This was also Dion Cole's debut as well, and Immaculate. So for me, that was a pivotal
Pretty
moment.
fire lineup,
man. You talk about, but as a first though, I'm like, are you serious right now? Are you serious right now?
There were a lot of people there.
Man.
Dion Cole hosting, right? So that
The
was
festival
cool.
and,
I saw Teddy Douglas hanging out.
Teddy was there.
Kenny
the
Dope was
Basement
hanging
Boys.
out.
Kenny Dope, just hanging.
Yeah, just hanging. Who else came through? A lot of people. Robin Roberts.
I thought
Robin Robinson was hosting as well.
Yeah, she co-hosted with Dion. I thought I saw Redman, not Redman,
Method Man?
Method Man. I thought I saw him actually. Did no one else see Method Man?
I did not see Method Man.
Did
I think I would know.
On watching, listening?
There is this actor that looks just like him.
Okay.
That spends time in Chicago because he was on South Side. Maybe that's who you're thinking of.
It was so much going on. It was hard.
And you were trying to find your phone.
I was.
Why don't you shout out the young lady that found your phone?
So I was gonna try to get through the recap show without the phone story, because I lit up my Facebook page about the story. It was like 4 paragraphs of this story. But thank you, Natasha Savage. You are definitely a shero in my book, and witness everyone, and I put it on Facebook. I got her for a premium experience at the 2026 Chosen Few picnic. I got her.
No, awesome. I love that. It is reassuring when people do the right thing, and that's the right thing to do. If you can find somebody and return their merchandise to them, do it. That is like the least of what it means to be human. Because you would want somebody to do that for you.
That's what she said.
Absolutely, but also attests to the culture of the picnic.
That's right.
That's where we were going to go next.
Because basically there hasn't the festival in the years, from my understanding, from the years the Chosen Few has been going on, there's never been an incident.
Nothing of any significance.
Any significance. It's always based in family, love, fellowship, and community. So basically, that is a prime example of the culture and the surrounding nature of what Chosen Few is.
It exactly is. The people who attend and their spirit is one of love. Wayne Williams, we did a lot of press across Chicago, and in each instance, Wayne gave an interview. He called it the Love Fest, and he calls it that because of the spirit in which people come together around the music. We talk about House is a Feeling. Wow. I've added a new one. Hopefully you guys can coin this here. House is also an intentional act of kindness. That's what Natasha Savage did for me, is to add that.
I love that.
Absolutely.
So the next group up is not ready to do their show.
So we can keep talking.
Yeah, let's. I want to talk about Ann Nesby, because Sounds of Blackness, lead singer, of course gospel artist, but she is rooted in the Midwest here. She actually had roots in Joliet. I got to do a one-on-one interview with her after her performance. It will air on one of the upcoming episodes of the Vintage House Show. But just a organic spirit she had. Of course, she talked about her upbringing in the church as a place where she got started and plugged into her musical gifts,
Man.
but she is expanding as an entrepreneur. Um, that pressure was she delivered it
Oh,
verbatim. It felt like. What do you all think?
the pressure, and be optimistic, and at the shelter,
Listen,
and
that's my cut. Hands
yeah,
down.
she
Man.
gave us all the hits, everything you would want to hear her sing. She sang, and she sang it deliciously.
She did.
She's
Man.
been working on her vocals, you know, like because it was that good. It was studio quality.
Absolutely.
And you know, the for the picnic, sometimes the live acts are not as well tuned and oiled up
Uh-oh.
as they can be.
Sometimes it happens.
Sometimes you don't know.
Right.
You know, you giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I think maybe they don't know. You know how, you know what
Right.
the audience is going to be like, and they think maybe they can phone it in. And you know,
Right.
sometimes it's hit, sometimes it's miss. Most often hit, but you know, occasional miss. And but she was awesome. She was incredible. You could hear her
Yeah.
from the front of the yard to the end of the yard, and she sounded great. It was like a Stephanie Mills moment. You know, some of the really, really, you know, great vocalists that they brought out. She was great. So,
You
no,
talk about church moment. That was
mm-hmm,
church moment for
mm-hmm.
me. Like she took us in a moment to where even coming in the family and friends sections, we were looking at each other like, hold on, you about to start something in this festival, right? And for me, because I believe she was the last live artist of the night.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, even being going to the Chosen Few Festival for a few years, it's always been amazing to see the artists to the music. You know, because you know, us as DJs, we're always playing the records. We're always basically, listening to the music. But it's very a rare commodity to actually literally put a face to the name. You know, and to have that moment to experience that live. Of course, you know, there's some artists that we all know because of culture and whatnot. But people like that, it was amazing to see live.
Nice.
You know, and to connect the two and bring the two worlds together.
I will try to live up to my storytelling role here, but you made a comment about sometimes artists, there are issues that happen. I mean, live performance. But one of my most favorite, more of a disco R&B writer, singer, performer, Leroy Burgess, came to the Chosen Few Picnic and Festival. It was earlier in the decade, we'll call it, and the sound in his performance was not there where it should be. I was able to sort of lift myself past that because I'm so
Such a fan.
so ingrained. Like you said, to see the person that performs. But that was one example I remember very vividly, and it was because I'm such a fan of everything from Black Ivory and Positive Force
Mainline
and
all of that.
Leroy is a prolific writer and contributor to the culture, but definitely from a live performance perspective, I'd love to see him again. But the professionalism of the sound crew and the lighting crew, and these guys, again, this is let me just say this, and yes, I'm gushing on the Chosen Few Picnic. Full disclosure, right? I've been afforded the opportunity to be a part of the team that helps in various facets of the festival. But someone wrote, this was a sponsor actually, indicated with one word, they said, this was an impeccable festival. That was followed up by there should be a playbook authored by the team on how to produce a festival of this caliber. 40,000 attendees, days and days of preparation. There were sound checks, is where I was going, which enabled Ladies of Sky and Ann Nesby to perform their sets well.
I gotta put the shameless plug. It wasn't Dwayne Woods, but it was good.
Okay.
It wasn't Dwayne Woods, but it was good.
Speaking of Dwayne Woods in the chat, hey Dwayne.
Greetings.
Alan King was in the chat.
Greetings.
Hey Alan. Ricky Troop was in the chat.
Oh,
Hey
wow.
Ricky.
We've got
Hey
quite a
Annette.
lot.
Yeah.
See what
Hey
y'all did?
Reggie, DJ Purple. Hey. So thanks
shouting
for
out.
thanks,
Darlene Lady D makes such a great
Scott Lee,
co-host,
Lee
guest
Fisher. Hey, thank you all for spending time with us. Really appreciate it. Well, I would like to throw some questions to the people in the chat. Who do you all want to hear or see live next year?
2026,
at
y'all.
Chosen Few. The date has been released for the next year's Chosen
July
Few.
11th.
July 11th, 2026, which is nice. I love when I leave a festival and then they tell you we'll be back next year and this is the date. So I want them to do that every year. Like, let us know so people can plan. They can, start saving their coins and get in there.
Look, I just want to say, I think we've scared NASCAR away. They're like, no, we can't compete with the Chosen Few Picnic and Festival.
Oh, Moose Tea. Moose Tea, Reginald said.
Oh, Moose
yeah.
Tea.
Oh, NASCAR, good riddance.
Yeah.
All right. So, DJ Reg. Okay, Rick Raymond says DJ Reg. Scott Lee, maybe have DJ Biscuit. DJ Biscuit.
From Jersey, right?
From Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm liking these choices. I think Moose Tea is a great choice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Moose Tea is, one of the big ones.
Do we still have any of the Chosen Few on so that they can take a few notes?
Peppermint Jam Records. Yeah. Alan King is here just listening.
Okay.
Just listening.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, a.k.a. we're helping you, guys do your job for next year.
We thank you for the shout out. You're one of course, Dwayne Woods,
Man.
For sure. Chicago house music legend,
Indeed.
History, and obvious
sound architect.
Man. Yes. So we're just gonna keep talking until y'all say goodbye. But
so here's the thing that I wanted to also cover, since we do have time, because the festival brings people in from all over the world. The Chosen Few have given that consideration, and along with promoters have created a ecosystem of other events around the weekend, starting the Thursday night. Excuse me, I just swallowed my cough drop. We don't always get to talk about the pre-parties and the closing party and the day after party. I think, Jay, you got to play at one of those parties.
I was blessed to play the after party.
Okay.
Basically right after the festival. So literally we were breaking down Mike's tent, and I looked at the clock because I had to break out in order to get to the loft. So before basically the rush of traffic and everything happened, I was blessed to play that. So it was an amazing night and an amazing close to the festival. I would say I got to play with Amir, and I want to say it was Teddy.
Oh, okay. So
okay, beautiful.
I want to say it was Teddy.
I don't have those
perfectly.
Notes
Forgive me
handy.
if I'm wrong, but because Teddy was part of the Basement
Boys. Yes.
Yeah,
Hey,
so it was Teddy. It was
Nikki
Teddy.
Divine. Oh, somebody said they would love to see Shaka at the fest.
Shaka Khan.
Oh yeah,
Hey.
Shaka Khan, Chicago. All day long.
We
And Alan
that'd be
said all
interesting.
recommendations welcome.
There you
know.
go. he's an open
So
open book.
I played at Pride in the Park 2 years ago, and Chaka Khan performed, and she was amazing. She was amazing, you know. But I bet
Oh, I heard she got a hefty cost and a big entourage. So
Nikki Devine says, "Hey nephew."
Hey, auntie.
What's up?
Hey,
Divine, thanks for
Nikki.
checking in to the Ben Chow
Yes.
Show. Yeah, I love these suggestions, and maybe there's a way to make that happen.
I always say I want to see Fonda Ray. A lot of people don't know
over
Fonda
like a
Ray.
fat
but
rat.
Fat rat. You mean she
So-
did Living in Ecstasy? Maybe people think she doesn't have enough hits, but she did Touch Me.
Yeah.
All
I was
night
gonna say
long,
touch
all night
and
long.
Touch and Go. No, she
that's-
wasn't part
that's
of Ecstasy, Passion, and Pain.
Mm-mm.
Right.
But I think she's got a few hits. And what else
Yes.
would be cool? Like if you strung together a few like dance acts that didn't have like a big repertoire, but maybe had like number ones.
A little beyond one hit wonders. Right.
Or slightly maybe they have a couple songs, and then you could put like three of them together. Like follow each other, like I don't know. That's what I'd be thinking, like almost like a variety,
We
show.
invited you for your opinion, Lady D. So thank you for it.
I'm like, because I think about happy birthday to Eastmove's wife, Latanza Waters. They had a number one, right?
Yes,
so they had
yes.
Put your hands in the air. That one, yeah.
Hands
and,
up in the air.
yeah, put your hands up in the air. You know that song, right?
I went to grade school with Eric.
Okay.
Smooth.
He's a Mendel Monarch, right?
Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
yeah, we.
and Mendel
before
parties.
that. Yeah.
So
I got a story for everybody. That's why I do this show.
okay, right? A few different people, you could throw them together. So
I love that suggestion.
I would love to see, coming from a younger perspective or younger generational standpoint, basically your Honey Loves, basically, your Sheezmas, your basically some of the more. I want to be
contemporary.
Thank you.
Say
Thank you.
contemporary.
Thank you.
Good word.
Yeah.
An academic also.
Absolutely. To the lineup too.
Honey Love is dope, but I know that she's getting coined,
Absolutely.
and so like I think it would be nice to introduce people like that, but I know that she's also on that other festival circuit too, right? So yeah, if you can bring folks like that, like she's producing with Dennis Ferrer, so maybe you could get Dennis and Honey together and
There's
stuff
a
like that.
combination.
Absolutely. So I'm excited for basically what's to come and basically the legacy of what Chosen Few looks like in that atmosphere, in that way too.
I want to shift us, and we talked about this a little bit, but I want to do a slightly deeper dive on the audience, the attendees, those that have come year after year after year for their reunions, for the music, for the fellowship. Did you all get a chance to go out into the tented area space and experience some of that home, that home?
Yeah.
So we're talking about house music, but when you go into the Chosen Few community,
Right.
at Jackson Park, it is home, and there's a level of hospitality. I was telling our producer Mateo that that's another facet of the picnic that he's got to experience, because he was working at the media tent for most of the day. But if you got to do that, what were some of your moments? Did you get some good ribs?
My girl Lisa Howard, she's one of those Limblin people.
Oh, okay.
Yes, she had her and her crew. She's also Delta, but she makes this rum cake. I took a couple of slices. I gave Lori one. I ate another. So what about you? Okay, I was looking for you.
Back there.
You were nowhere to be found. You were like
I was looking
digging
for
through
my
the dirt for your phone. When I go by the Omega's tent, my boys are always grilling. They're always like, "What you need, Lady D? Let me give you some of this.
Rod
Let me give you some
Thomas
of that."
and
Yes,
those guys,
all of
yeah.
those guys. You know, there's a FAMU tent every year. You know, the Rattlers are in there doing their little. You
Right.
know, the U of I people. I
Thank
was
you.
really.
I was gonna go there.
I was really excited to see my congressman and my fellow Dolphin, my classmate, Jonathan Jackson. He was there, received an award. We didn't talk about the awards.
We
The
didn't.
Yes,
Oh
the
my
people.
God.
The people who got
We
awards
missed that
were.
piece, yeah.
Were really, I think, I always love that part of the day because just taking a moment to, you know, kind of like say, hey, let's acknowledge folks in our community who are supporting us and also need our support, and also giving those flowers to folks who may not otherwise receive them, but making sure that we do these acknowledgments to folks, like just taking the time to
So,
say
yeah.
we appreciate you.
Right.
It's a really beautiful thing.
It is important, and I will say, having worked this facet of the event, it had started to eke into this very political territory in terms of an opportunity for political figures to come and be seen and speak, and I think, you know, that has its place, but there was a diminished facet of that, but definitely. Congressman Jackson awarded the chosen few, and with some declarations and proclamations. The chosen few awarded Robin Kent, the daughter of legendary radio DJ Herb Kent, with an award, and she has created a foundation in his honor, and that was a moment. And Robin was, you know, incredibly gracious.
Yeah, beautiful lady.
In that. And she tells the story about playing Devil for her dad.
Yeah.
And turning him on to
we
you know,
used to
new
have,
wave
we
and
used to have
punk
out
music.
parties.
Yes,
on
yes.
the on our playground at my elementary school. You know, I was in 7th grade, and I remember somebody bringing the boom box, putting it down, putting the tape in, and we were doing Rock Lobster.
Yeah, the B-52s
yes,
were.
I mean.
Gary Newman in my
Yes.
car, here in my car.
Yes,
New
wave. The
Nothing that. You're in my car, in cars. Come on, sing it with me, y'all.
Hey, John Cobb. Thank you.
And so, yes, the those aspects of acknowledgement are important, because continuing to pour into this community, again, this is why, one of the reasons, big reasons why we do the Vintage House Show, because we want to ensure our community owns the narrative, and two, we want to ensure that the narrative about, you know, house music and its origin stories and the people, the places, and the music that have
I saw a few politicians still there, though, right?
Yeah.
Robin Kelly was there. I saw.
I
saw her. I saw.
It's not
I
about
saw a video going around
them.
of Kim Fox.
Kim Fox dancing
and feeling free. And Alan King, I think, said it best. You know, now that all of that is off of her, she can be free and be herself, and that was nice off. To see. It was really, really. She looked liberated, and that's just wonderful. That's what house is to me. You know.
Yeah, no, and just to be clear, my point was, what is the analogy of you know, politics? It's blowing a lot of hot air. So there have been a lot of instances where over the years people wanted to come on and pour some air. It wasn't always hot air.
Well, use the platform as a way to push their messaging out. As opposed to supporting the platform.
Well said, Lady D.
Right.
Yes, that's what I mean. So we, again, the team has shifted a bit from what used to be the case in that regard. And so, yes, politicians are still there, and many will say, I know my former colleague, schoolmate, who's now lieutenant governor, says, hey, I'm a house head. we had an early conversation.
Juliana,
yeah, she said that. She's like, don't you want to have the first Lieutenant Governor Househead on the show? And I was like, yes, of course we do. And I have not been able to make that happen, but Lieutenant Governor Stratton, if you're out there listening, still love to get you and your scheduler together so we can make that happen. But we recognize it is a community event.
Absolutely.
yeah.
With the Obama Presidential Center in the backdrop, which was so cool to see that tower. I think we were out there for, we were doing some press before everything had gotten set up.
Absolutely.
And it was just sort of an awe-inspiring view to have the Obama Presidential Tower off in the background.
Yeah,
sort of
I still
looming
don't
over
understand that
everything.
design. I'm gonna have to see it in person. It's a little bit like the Lord of the Rings, like the Eye of Sauron. I'm like, is it obelisk or what is it exactly? It's not hitting me yet. I'm gonna have to get up on it. I'm sorry.
It's a structure.
It's a structure. Yes.
And I have friends who there's a U of I architect who was involved in the design. I'm not sure if they were involved in the tower design specifically, but there's a lot of thought.
Yeah,
and,
I believe that. Now the one thing I was thinking
yes.
from it looks like it's gonna be hard to blow up. So so is it a security that's built into the design? Like I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna rock with it because Obama's my man. But I'm just thinking, is it for what reason is it so just it looks impenetrable.
There's an element of monument in that structure.
Yes.
And I think that's what is really
that's
centered.
What we're seeing.
Yeah.
But does it look good to you?
So look, Jackson Park is part of those of us who've grown up on the South Side. It was pristine as a park for the majority of our lives.
Yeah.
And so there's a shift that has occurred that we got to get used to. It's an adjustment.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you
and
been
now
to
having
the
a structure.
Abraham Lincoln library in Springfield?
Springfield, I have not been down there.
It's beautiful.
I've got brochures on it. And
postcards.
Yeah, postcards from the Edge on it.
Okay.
But your comparison of the two is
no, I'm just there's a lot of like
is it apples and guava?
Every president gets a thing, right? So every president gets something. Usually they're not like as but I get it.
Well, I'm feeling that it is it's a nice juxtaposition of that structure to what goes on the second Saturday of July.
Well, as long as they don't interfere with what happens on the second Saturday of July.
Yeah, I mean,
because they're going to take ownership of a lot of that space, and
it's a public park,
they better support.
Lady D.
They better
it's a
support.
Public park. Well, and there's been support. That
100%.
message, that hit 2019 from
there was
number 44.
There was no library then. So
no, he was sort of warming the audience up for that.
One thing I will say, basically going to like the look, if you haven't been to this year's festival, I think Dave Sabat has amazing photographs from an aerial perspective of what basically the festival looks like, and you can really get a great interpretation and a great look at really how massive it is. And basically, even from a location standpoint, how basically everything is tied into it being right off of the lake, but you still have the backdrop of, like you said, the city and whatnot too. So if you haven't been and you're looking to see what it looks like, I believe Mike, Terry, the Chosen Few have pictures of it.
I've got those pictures.
They're amazing.
I got a quick Dave Sabat story. Quick, very quick. I got a text from him last night or today because I used one of the photos. He has been one of the photographers for
Chosen
the
Few
festival,
events,
and so I always rely on him to be able to get images if I need to supply them to any of the media outlets that may not have gotten their ideal shots or none at all. So I told another story about the power of black media in their coverage of the culture that is the Chosen Few picnic. And I used a picture of Dave, and I was trying to get it up. I've been slow because I'm still recovering and trying to get my phone back together. All the excuses, right? Dave texts me and says, "Hey, man, it'd be helpful if you could give me photo attribution." I'm like, oh, snap. I forgot to because I was rushing to get that post up, and I added. So Dave Sabat, thank you for the nudge, right, to get your photos properly attributed. And yes, the drone footage is superb.
Well, talking about the growth of the festival itself, one of the smartest things that they've done is to create the the tents, to put the white tent city up and just sell the plots that way, as opposed to people just bringing their own tents and doing all kinds of stuff. Like that, to me, logistically, you're able to sort of navigate that. It's less of a maze. It's less crazy when you go inside. It's definitely way more organized. And so logistically, I thought that's one of the smarter things that they've done in the past few years too.
One thing I found hilarious was I got a chance. So my rule is this. Basically, if I do go in the crowd, it's going to be before 4 o'clock.
Smart.
Because after that, it's Kingdom Come out there. But it's hilarious to see, even in my short rounds around the grounds, to see people still setting up at 4:30, 4:45.
They really are.
5, and I mean, like, just putting up tents.
Yeah.
Just putting up tents.
Sometimes, CP time.
Man.
So.
Well, shout out to my brothers and sisters that got to work on Saturday, but still know that they have to be there because FOMO will set in otherwise. And to the point about the logistics, right? Kim Parham, as well as Alan and Wayne and Terry and others, have worked with a festival production company that does the damn thing. They're on it, and they helped also lend voice and experience to ensuring that those kinds of activations
I would like to see them. I know that people really want the VIP tent experience, and so I know that they feel limited by putting only the one side. But at other festivals, for example, Lollapalooza, they will have a double-decker VIP experience on the sides of the stages.
The risers,
yeah. So I would say, maybe think about taking it, up another level. You can sell more tickets and give people those seats that they want.
That's a good segue. Support. I will say this. In the past 3 years, I've seen a lot of black festivals and house music festivals in the city fall off. And for me, it's kind of heart aching to see certain festivals, or to hear the talk about, man, I'm not paying that. In regards to Chosen Few, to price or ticket prices and whatnot that are surrounded by it. And one thing that I really wanted to say, coming from a supportive aspect of it, from the next generation who wants the opportunity to be a part of this monumental festival, to support it.
Financial support. Not just show up.
Right.
Or ask for the hookup. Yeah.
Also, Alan King said the president has promised him personally that they won't mess with them. So I love it. And Okay, that's good. That's
There
a
you
start.
go.
Don't mess with them and also give them some money.
Well,
Number two.
they're not for profit as well. Now the foundation is fundraising all day, every day as well. But
Do
this
you
is
work for them or for Chosen Few? That's what I want to know.
the foundation. I've been trying to get a job
Okay.
with the foundation for a minute, but yeah. So
No, I
Mike
see
Strock,
it. I see
hook
them
me
as
up, man.
being good co-partners, and for the initiatives that they have, like how to model, socio learning and what house music offers, and their initiatives around young black men and young black
My
women.
brother's keeper.
Yes,
program.
and they also have some for young black women too. I think what Chosen Few offers and what the house music community and as a whole offers. We would be, and they would be, and all of us in our community would be good partners to the Obama Foundation and what they do and what they are trying to, you know, to what their mission
Project,
is as
right,
well.
right.
I think our missions are aligned,
Right.
right?
There's great synergy, and with the Jackson Park Highlands community groups,
Yes.
there's often outreach and engagement with those community
Yeah.
leaders.
So we
as
can
well
all help
for
each
partners.
other.
This thing is monumental.
I want to give you a big shout out because I saw a big win for you. You said something to the effect of you had all the major outlets. You had Chosen Few on all the major outlets that week
Yeah.
of Chosen Few Picnic. That is no small accomplishment. That's no small feat. So congratulations and kudos to you. Tell people about ABC, WGN, NBC, CBS. Who else?
Fox 32. We're definitely fortunate that we have a product that is in high demand and of public interest for the Chicago community, and because of that, we were able to secure coverage, particularly on the Friday before the picnic and festival. We locked every morning show news program. I'm proud and happy to share from 2, 5, 7, 9, and 32. And earlier on, we did WTTW, but I also want to ensure that the black media outlets, those that particularly give story and narrative to our community and culture on the south and west sides, WVON, the Chicago Defender, the Tribe, Mary in the Mix, a few blogs. We were well received and embraced to be able to tell the story of this love fest, again, as Wayne referred to it. So shout out to Leanne Trotter and Michelle Relaford and Tyra Martin from WGN, and gosh, I knew I was going to get in trouble. Sam Chapman kicked us off on Channel 7 with Alan and Lori telling the story. So thanks to all of them for enabling us. And of course, right here, the Vintage House Show, that team and crew was on the ground. Darlene was doing pre-work for this show and episode there as well with our super duper producer, Lauren Lowry. Mateo was on the ground. It was your first Chosen Few experience. He was a Chosen Few Picnic virgin. What did you think?
Yeah, I loved it. It was amazing. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, I don't know. The music was great. Like, I met so many cool people. I was treated very well. It was like it was awesome.
Continuing the people, I want to shout out also Audrina Sinclair from CBS. She had Lori and Mike on. The sister from WTTW Chicago Tonight. Her name will come to me before I fall asleep here. There's a producer, Courtney Scott at CBS 2. I want to shout her out as well. But as importantly, the fellas and the ladies of Chosen Few, they came through. They showed up. Me and Terry Hunter were at NBC at like 5:45 on Friday morning. Thank you for that, Terry, and allowing me to come along there. Wayne and Terry and Mike did their thing.
How about the White Sox? The game, yeah. The Chosen Few night at White Sox Park.
At the baseball game.
Oh,
Kim Parham.
Brandis Friedman.
Thank you for shouting out
Lori.
Brandis, Lori. Brandis was great. She's tight. You all look out for Brandis.
How about little Ty spinning at?
I was about to say, Bronny.
Outside of watch out for Ty. He is he's there. He's coming in hot. So look out for Ty Hunter.
Young prodigy. So
we are just about at the end of our segment because you all have wanted to hear and experience it from the lens of my co-host tonight, Lady D, J Star. They brought powerful perspectives. They didn't surprise me, but I've been very I've been very pleased with them. And so 2026, will you all come back to do the recap?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
All right. So now we've got a trio.
Got a date.
All right. Lady D, again, we did it in 23. Yeah, because 24 I wasn't here. And so this is tradition, y'all. We will bring it to you. Hopefully those of you who tuned in tonight were also present, but in case you weren't there, we hope that this gave you a strong sense of what it was like to be there, what it was like to experience the performances of the Chosen Few DJs and their guests, and to be among those who came together to fellowship in this incredible community we call house music. So with that, I'm going to invite you to tune in every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Central, usually, when we get started, here on WNUR for another episode of the Vintage House Show with Lori Branch, Lauren Lowry. I think we've got a show because there's 5 Wednesdays in July. DJ Momami, DJ Rocky Floyd, and an occasional visit from other guest hosts and contributors. We are the Vintage House Show, the business, the culture, the history of this thing called house. I'm your main man, Mega. I appreciate all of you who've tuned in with us and joined in the conversation. Do support.
Man, stream and purchase Dreaming by Amir Brooks on Track Source, Blackball Music, We Came to Party. It's dropping soon. Infected with House Music is on pre-order now, dropping tomorrow. I have a record coming out on the label as well. So please go support up-and-coming music from Chicago-based artists.
Plug one. Plug two.
Plug two. Good Girls, DJs. Myself, Lori Branch, VD Girl will be at Thalia Hall this Fridays for the Fly Honey Show. Man. We'll be at Arc Fest at the Labor Day weekend. So keep your eyes open for that, and just stay up on.
What about your socials? Us. Where can they check you all out on the socials?
Yeah, I'm DJ Lady D everywhere. So.
I was about to say the way we were. But everything is at J Star Music Official. Hopefully I can catch some of you all tomorrow night at Pier 31 with Mr. Corner himself, and a bunch of other events coming up soon. So.
All right. Coming up next, we will leave you with a incredible mix by another WNUR radio jock, Black Terry, dropping some magic here from 2008. Let's go. Remember, house is a feeling. And it's an intentional act of kindness now. Main Man Mega, peace.
Bye, Tilly. Bye, guys.